Hey guys, and welcome back. So, today I decided to challenge myself and see if I could build a magical fairy starter home and keep it under 20k simoleons budget. You know how usually these starter homes end up. Either they look a little too plain or you completely blow the budget. But I wanted this one to feel enchanting, like it could belong in a storybook, while of course still being affordable for the gameplay. And even though the Enchanted by Nature expansion is out now, this house was built before the release, so you will not see any of those items here, but the whole idea was absolutely inspired by that pack. Now, when I first started placing the walls, my plan was to go with nice leafy green exterior, because well, it's a fairy house, so I thought it just made sense. But this lot has very unusual lighting, and what looked like a soft green in the catalog just turned into muddy brown once I placed it. That's why I actually decided to switch to a white brick from the cottage living. It actually works really well here against the pink glow this lot gives off. But I still wanted that pop of green, so I decided to go with this nice emerald shade for the doors and windows. The windows and doors are from Current expansion pack, and to be honest, I just think they're perfect for this build. They have this tall arched shapes, and they almost feel like something you would see in an enchanted village. And as the lot itself is very small, it's sometimes tricky to build an interesting shape. But I didn't want just make a boring rectangle, so I decided to add some bump outs to give the house a character. I think the best part is actually this hexagonal tower. I think it just instantly makes a house feel a little bit unusual and maybe story-driven. So it's maybe not practical due to size, but it looks amazing, especially with all the windows I added. And one of my favorite details in this build is this round window which I placed under the roof. It's from Cottage Living, and it has a butterfly on it. And when I saw it, I just instantly recalled about fairies and fairy wings, so I knew that I have to place it in this build. And since we are on a starter budget, landscaping was going to be a little bit tricky, because plants in the regular catalog are expensive, so I leaned heavily on debug again. So you'll see a lot of vines with flowers. Some of them are from the base game and some from Get Together. And actually the debug menu is like a best friend of any starter build. You can fill out the lot with so much green, lush flowers without even paying a simoleon. Overall, I just wanted the exterior to feel a little storybook-like, as I said before, and very connected to the nature. So it's like a cozy hideaway for some magical creature. And maybe you are wondering why everything looks so pink on this lot. And it's not just the plants or some lighting mod. This house is actually built in Sylvan Glade, which is the secret hidden world in Willow Creek. If you've never been there before, you can reach it by interacting with the big magical tree in the Foundry Cove and unlocking the hidden path. And once inside, this whole world is drenched in this magical pink light with glowing water and sparkles in the air. So I felt like this is the perfect spot for a fairy's home. Oh, and by the way, since we are talking about fairies and building fairy home, I'm just curious, what's your favorite fairy movie? Because I think for me, it's probably the Barbie Fairytopia. So when I was a kid, I had a DVD with all of the Barbie movies that were out at the time. And you know the story about brave fairy Elena who didn't have wings and her tiny friend Bibble was always the one I watched over and over again. So I would love to know yours. Please tell me in the comments which fairy movie or maybe story you grew up with. Okay, so back to the build. Outside the house I created a small sitting area with just a simple table and chairs. The chairs are from Get Together. They have these pretty floral bags that I thought were just perfect for fairy home. The table is just from the base game menu. I think this area looks like the kind of place where fairy could maybe have some breakfast near the flowers or maybe enjoy some afternoon floral tea with her friends. As I already mentioned, I used lots of debug items for the landscaping, including beautiful pink bushes, some white blossoms, lavender everywhere, and even a few purple, yellow, pink patches of flower I found. I thought that they matched the natural surroundings of Sylvan Glade really well, so it looks like the building is blending seamlessly into the environment. Also, earlier I placed some oak trees to make the house feel grounded in the forest, and I also added little details like a wild bird tree, some bugs and fireflies. The bird tree is actually a functional item, if you didn't know, but because I put it too far into the flower bushes, the sim can't reach it unfortunately. However, it can be changed, you just need to do a little workaround. And because the world of Sylvan Glade is very quiet and empty for some reason, I just think these small touches make it feel alive. Also, if you've been enjoying the Enchanted by Nature theme, you might like another build that I did not long ago. I created a gnome's cottage, which is inspired by the same expansion. It was such a fun project, so you can click the link on the screen to check it out. Alright, let's talk interior. So, the bedroom area was the first thing I set up. I separated it later with a partial wall and some windows. But it's still more of a bed zone than a fully closed off room. And for the walls and even the ceiling, I used green vines paint from the loft truck. And the bed I used is from high school years. It has green and brown pattern on it, and with this loft truck canopy, it fits perfectly into the theme. And to create a bit of division between the bedroom and the rest of the space, I built a small partition with the wall as I said before, and added some life and death windows. And right in front of it, I created a cozy little living area, just a love seat from Love's Truck, a small hexagonal rock with a pretty pattern. It's from Life and Death expansion pack. And I also placed the base game glass coffee table here, with some flowers on top. And moving over to the bathroom, as you will see, it's a very small space, but it has everything you sims actually need. I squeezed in a shower, a toilet, and a sink. And if you're playing with the Enchanted by Nature expansion, your sim actually don't need this kind of setup, because they can just use all sorts of natural alternatives. For the kitchen, I stuck with Cottage living again, since it has those rustic cabinets and counters that looked like they belong in a countryside fairy tale cottage. And also I decorated the house a little bit. I just added some base game flowers, a simple green dresser, and the book pile from Cottage living again, which has these cute rabbit holders. And that brings us to a little tower bump out, which I absolutely love. So from the outside it gives the house that fairy tale shape, and from the inside I made it into a small writing nook with a desk from Life and Death and a fancy base game chair. And upstairs I kept things very simple. I just placed an easel, some flower themed decor, and a beautiful rug from high school years. So yes, that's my fairy starter home. If you enjoyed this build, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And as always, you can download this build on the gallery. Just search for my ID Simsioli. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!